Bellator 269 is on Saturday, the 28th of October. It's going to be a wicked fight between the last Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko, and Tim Johnson. Now, just before we do this video, guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the like button if you do enjoy it. Remember to comment below with whatever things you got talking about. It's awesome. Let's start with Fedor in this little chat, because it's not the Fedor of old, and we're not going to discuss it like it's the Fedor of old. It's not Tim Johnson that was in the UFC. You know, these guys, you know, Fedor's like 45 years old now. You know, the only good news about Fedor is the level of competition he is facing still. The Frank Mirs, the Quinton Jacksons. Like, Jackson should never have been in there, and he flatlined him, which was, you know, you want to see that. You want to see someone that is training to someone that isn't really training. You want to see the person that is training still win. The Frank Mir fight, I'm a huge Frank Mir fan, so that one kind of hurt. But, you know, Fedor is the guy. You know, there's the eras of martial arts, what get you into the sport, which get you into a discipline, whatever. The modern one obviously being the McGregor era, the Israel, a lot of people coming in for him. Ronda had an era, you know, before that it was the Liddells. Fedor was that person, you know, to get into all Japanese combat here. You know, when you've got Pride and you've got Ryzen and you've got Fedor in Russia just absolutely smoking heavyweights, fighting everyone, but never being at, say, the UFC, it was a big deal. But Fedor was definitely a person, you know, he was an influential person to get a lot of people into martial arts, especially into MMA, and he's pioneer and he's still going. And there's definitely a chance here that he's going to win. For me, he probably will, but I wanted to say why. So since coming to Bellator, he's had 5 fights. He lost to Mitrione and he lost to Ryan Bader in about 30 seconds. Ryan Bader at the time was... Ryan Bader is a phenomenal athlete. He has reached higher status in the Bellator world. He's with the double champ. There's no, you know, the younger blitzier fighter, and I mean younger by quite a margin when they fought. So there's no reason he should have won that fight. That was a bit of a mismatch, but it had to happen because they were in a tournament, and that's what happens. But let's take the wins. So he fought Frank Mir, and he caught him with a beautiful left hook, stepping back. If you remember, Frank overstepped a right, leaned forward, and Fedor caught him with a left while pivoting to his left, hit him with a left hook, dropped him, sat him, like just face planted, not sat him down, sat him forward, absolutely face planted Mir, and it really hurt watching that one. You think when he fought Sonnen was like, I'm just going to out wrestle you. He was chatting all the stuff as he normally does. You know, he's absolutely phenomenal at marketing, and you know, he's great at talking and analysis. Hence his shows on ESPN, and you know, even his YouTube, which is this channel was inspired by the Sonnen style YouTube of just talking to the audience and wanting to know what other fans like myself are thinking, because it's easier to communicate with other people when you're getting comments back, and it's just great debates. He left hooked him. The right hook of Jackson, where he shattered half his face. You know, he just sat up and was pissing blood out his eye. I mean, Jackson, the size of his belly in that fight, I think most people were like, what is Quinton Jackson doing in the cage again? Is he broke? Is he whatever? I don't know the reasons. I like Rampage. You know, Rampage back in the day was the man from that era of Liddell, Jackson. You know, you've got Vanderlei. You had Keith Jardine, the Dean of Mean, all that sort of era of fighters. He was up there, you know. Rampage was a god. Now, you know, I don't know why he was fighting Fedor. That was a bit crazy to me, because there's one thing Fedor has that no one else seems to have in this division, and that's really fast hands. Really fast hands. Now, I would expect the speed to be the first thing that dissipates when you're a heavyweight, especially the age him. You know, he's all top heavy, he's got quite skinny legs, and it showed. You know, he tried to leg kick Quinton Jackson in that fight, and he hurt his leg quite bad. He had to stumble a bit back, but Jackson didn't even register that he hurt his leg, and then he got absolutely munched up by these combinations. You know, the combinations he's putting on people aren't 1 and 2s. They're not a jab and a right check, a right cross. They're not pivot to the left and hit him with a left hook. There's nothing like that. There's no lead hooks or anything like that. It is complete setup shots of jabs, crosses, and it's not a 1 or 2 punch combo. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. He landed like a 6-piece combination before he landed that right on Jackson. He can move. He can hit striking backwards, as shown against Sonnen and Mir, people that were trying to advance in either striking or takedowns. Beating Tim Johnson, I think, isn't any career highlight for him. I think, you know, he just wants to keep fighting. It's what he loves doing. Tim Johnson, I don't know why he's still fighting. I mean, Tim Johnson to me is a weird one to discuss. So before Tim Johnson just lost to Moldavsky by decision, might I add, he had a split decision win over Czech Congo, you know, beat Matt Mitrione and Tyrell Fortune, and Tyrell Fortune going into that fight was 8-0, you know. He was like, Tyrell Fortune's gonna beat a veteran, keep going on, you know, how Bellator kind of progress people, you know, they kind of give him like boxing opponents. The term is tin can, as disrespectful as that seems, it's pretty accurate, to be honest. A lot of the people Gaethje was fighting, for instance, in World Series of Fighting, a lot of them were called cans for a reason. The only good thing I would say that Tim Johnson has in his favour for this fight is that Tim Johnson loves to rush in. He likes to blitz, but he does leave his chin exposed, but he's got the power that he can kind of get away with it, because if he does connect with you, it is shutout time. Again, like the Tyrell Fortune fight, blitz forward, and he showed a lot of, you know, a lot of sloppy footwork when Tyrell was getting out of the way, but it only took one blitz to actually catch him, and then you saw him out cold against, you know, laying down, pressed against the fence. You saw how powerful that shot was and what it meant to him in that scenario. One thing I will say about this fight, it's in Moscow. Fedor's winning this fight to me. I think this is a hand-picked fight. I think Fedor, there's no reason he should lose this, because if Tim blitzes in, I think Fedor still has the technicality, the speed, and the cleverness, to be honest, of just backstepping and slicing him open with a 1-2-3 combination. You know, this is what he does. This is what Fedor knows how to do. Someone blitzing in, sit down, and that's how he deals with you. It will probably be a left hook, because that's his signature, like recently, especially. Fedor for me is just, I'm just happy to see him fight still, because he's still winning, and a lot of these old guys aren't, and it's really upsetting. Let us know, guys, who you think is going to win. It's an interesting one. I love Fedor to bits. I'm okay about Tim Johnson, you know, he is what he is, but Fedor is awesome to me. He's one of the reasons, you know, I watch this sport, so I hope he does win. I hope a lot of you think he wins. If you don't, tell me why Tim Johnson's going to win, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.